You know those stories that just stick with you? The ones about someone hitting rock bottom, losing it all, only to find something way more important? Well, that's exactly the kind of story we're diving into today. It's all about faith, friendship, loss, and it asks some really tough questions. So, what does happen when all that stuff collides? That's really the core question here. We're going to see a story where someone has the best intentions, but life, gets messy. And those two things don't always play nice together. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so our story kicks off with a woman named Jenny. And at first glance, she seems to have it all together. She's got this life built on compassion and her faith, but as you can probably guess, her whole world is about to get flipped on its head.
So let's get to know Jenny a little better. By day, she's a hospice nurse, right? She literally helps people face the end of their lives with peace. But in her own life, there's this quiet ache, this deep desire to start a family through adoption. And her Christian faith, it's the foundation for everything. But yeah, that foundation and everything else she cares about is about to get a major shakeup.
And the first big point of pressure, it's not coming from the outside. It's right there in her own home. She and her husband Todd are just not on the same page. Jenny is ready to go, like now. She's even counting on a promotion at work to make it all possible. But Todd, he's pumping the brakes, worried about money. And you can just feel that tension building between them, you know?
So, while all that is going on at home, bam, a huge crisis hits from the outside. Her father, who she wasn't very close with, dies, suddenly. And this isn't just about grief. For Jenny, it kicks off a massive spiritual crisis. She becomes completely obsessed with this one question. Where is he now?
In all that inner conflict, it just spills out at the memorial. Her mom says that thing people always say, right? He's in a better place now. But Jenny's response is just so raw. She fires back, is he? Based on what? And wow, that one line tells you everything. It shows this deep, deep fear that her faith doesn't have a simple answer for. And it immediately creates a rift with her family.
So you'd think dealing with her father's death would be enough, right? Nope. Another person from her past shows up, and this new challenge, well, it's about to take over her entire life. And get this, it happens in the most jarring way possible. At a work meeting, Jenny finds out that her childhood best friend, Autumn, someone she hasn't seen in years, is now a patient at her hospice. The friend she grew up with, the one she lost touch with, is now dying. And right there, the main conflict of the whole story just clicks into place. For Jenny, this feels like a sign from God. It's her mission, her divine calling to save Autumn's soul. But Autumn, she's just done. She's exhausted, she's in pain, and the last thing she wants is someone preaching at her. Okay, and this is where things get really interesting, because we start to see how Jenny's intense focus on this one mission starts to create all this collateral damage just everywhere else in her life. I mean, her heart's in the right place, but her passion is causing problems all over. Her husband feels totally left behind. At work, a colleague named Marilyn sees this as her chance to get ahead. And the worst part, Autumn, the one person she's trying to help, starts to push her away. So you see, it's not like one big thing that brings her down. It's more like a domino effect of little things. The arguments with her husband get worse. Her job is suddenly on the line. And that friendship she's trying so hard to fix, it's just fracturing because she's pushing too hard. And then we get to the breaking point. It's this super intense moment where Autumn just lays it all out there. She looks at Jenny and asks, "Are you here to save me or to save yourself from the guilt?" Oof. I mean, that question just cuts right to the bone, and it forces Jenny to take a hard look at why she's really doing all this. This is really the emotional peak of the whole story. Autumn basically holds up a mirror, and for the first time, Jenny is forced to see her own doubts staring back at her. And it's this devastating moment when she realizes, maybe this whole crusade wasn't about Autumn at all. Maybe it was about running from her own fears. So after everything has completely fallen apart, her marriage is a mess, her career is basically over, her friendship is broken, Jenny hits rock bottom. And from there, she makes one decision that changes the entire game. She completely changes her focus. It's not about saving Autumn's soul anymore. It's just about being her friend. And she does something pretty radical. She quits her job, just so she can be there for Autumn with absolutely no agenda. And in that moment, she just lets go. She gives up on trying to control everything. She lets go of the promotion, her career, the need to prove she's right, And instead, she just focuses on the one thing that actually matters, her friend.
And you won't believe what happens next. This one selfless act sets off this incredible chain reaction. The moment she stops trying to control everything, all her problems just start to solve themselves. Autumn finds peace. Then she gets this unexpected inheritance from her father, which takes care of all their money problems. And just like that, the door to adoption swings wide open.
Oh, and here's a little bit of cosmic justice for you. Remember Marilyn, her rival at work who reported her? Well, she ends up getting denied that promotion she was after. Turns out the bosses didn't think she had the leadership skills. Kind of ironic, huh?
So in the end, the redemption that Jenny was so desperately trying to force on her friend, well, that was the redemption she ended up finding for herself. But it could only happen once she let go of her agenda and just chose to be a friend, to simply love.
And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? It leaves us with this really powerful question to think about. What does it actually mean to be a friend to someone who's at the very end? Is your job to try and save them? Or is it just to sit with them right where they are until the very end?